What's going on, everyone? Thank you for joining us on tonight's new episode of Around the Flock. We took a little bye week of our own uh, due to some personal reasons, um, but we are back, ready to go, ready to talk about the Ravens, dig deep into our expectations coming off this bye week. Now, obviously, the Ravens beat the Saints 2 weeks ago on Monday Night Football. Let's get that pulled up real quick just so we can have a quick rundown of that. Overall, I was very happy. I stayed up obviously stayed up later than what I was hoping, but it was a nice 27-13 win. Um, Ravens keep a nice little momentum jump going forward. Now, like Lamar said, going into the bye week, they have a lot of work to do. Still a lot to learn from and get better. Now, some are probably took some time off to rest and recuperate with family and just take care of things during that time off. I expected a lot of these guys to do just that, on top of learning to um, get things taken care of. I expected Lamar and some of his receivers probably got together during the bye week and did some run throughs, ran some routes, got more acquainted. Obviously, we all know Mark Andrews did come back to practice today, but there is still a lot to go through. Um, we were all talking about how Justin Houston has been having one hell of a season so far. We expect him to, either relax but still keep his mind right so he's ready to go for this week's matchup against Carolina. I'm fully expecting him to have another 3 to 5 sack game. But overall, for this team going forward, now that the bye week is over, it's time to finally lock in and get ready for January and maybe even February. Because with how things were looking there, obviously against Tampa, against the Saints, and they just looked like everything was slowly starting to come together and piece together, even though we were all stressed out like no other thing. We hate prevent defense, but defensive coordinator Mike McDonald is starting to get his rhythm going as well. I feel like for the coaching staff going forward, these guys are getting better and getting a decent game plan going. I feel like Greg Roman is going to be on a tighter leash than what he already has been, so he doesn't get fired into the sun. And there is also a little hashtag that I want to continue to put out there: fire Steve Saunders. Obviously, he has been a catalyst for this team as far as keeping them healthy, conditioned, and so on and so forth. Defensively, on the coaching in the coaching staff, I think things will be fine. Coach Harbaugh, I believe, has put in some good stuff into place to keep this team rolling strong, keep the momentum at a high level. Offensively, I still have some, not necessarily doubts, but I'm hoping that Greg Roman will finally have adjustments going for this offense going forward. Um, Obviously, we hope he passes the ball more, get his receivers more involved. He's getting his security blanket back. Hopefully, the Charlie Kohler agenda gets a major push. Coach Harbaugh made it clear in one of the pressers earlier that he, along with Ojabo on the defensive side, that Kohler might get to make his debut and show everyone that he is him. He is the rightful tight end too. But hey, I'm just get my ramblings out there since I didn't do it last week. And as far as speaking of getting Lamar getting his receivers and spreading the ball out more. Hopefully, we'll get to see more Demarcus Robinson catch and runs, or aggressive catch and runs. That is, as more Isaiah Likely catches because he is a wide receiver playing tight end, and so on and so forth. Defensively, like I just said, Ojabo is making his way back, and we could see him possibly this week. If they are good to go, they're good to go. Overall, I think this team is getting back on track with what we need to see, what we want to see. And easily going forward with these head-to-head matchups, should be no reason why this Ravens team cannot win every single last game. Also off topic, White Monsters stay undefeated. Anyways, also speaking of beverages, this is going to be off topic and on topic. Hotel Tango Reserve Bourbon, delicious, wonderful bourbon, smooth as all can be. It definitely has that cherry and oak flavor. It's wonderful, and I drank it basically the whole entire game, and we saw the outcome of it. 20 or an easy or great 27-13 win against the Saints, like I just said earlier. So it is official per myself, per Drew of the Zone 32 podcast, Mr. Verified. This bourbon is the official bourbon of the Ravens Flock and the Good Luck Bourbon. So that's just my thoughts and my opinions, but facts so far are facts. So I will be drinking that this Sunday when the Ravens go to take on the Carolina Panthers. And speaking of that, we want to go through the injury report real quick. I didn't have much time to go through the press conferences earlier, give my takes on them, and whatnot. So this episode might be just a quick 15 to 30 minute or 15 to 20 minute episode. So bear with me. And as we all know, this part of the injury report is still early. It's still a large guessing game. Because it's just the first day of practice. Mark Andrews, as we all know, came back. He was limited with his knee and shoulder. Cornerback Jalen Amore Davis was limited with a hip. Calais Campbell did not participate due to a rest day. Gus Edwards, running back, was limited with his hamstring. Justin Houston had a rest day today, even though he was in the building. Marcus Peters was also on a rest day. Jason Pierre-Paul was a full participant with his ankle. And then Ronnie Stanley had a rest day as well. Now, I see all these guys either or pretty much coming back tomorrow as either a limited or a full participant. If we want to take a full depth into it, I'd say Mark Andrews still being a limited participant. Jalen Amore Davis, probably the same. Calais Campbell, a full participant. Gus Edwards, probably limited as well. Justin Houston, full participant. Marcus Peters, full. Jason Pierre-Paul, same. And Ronnie Stanley. I would say Ronnie would probably be a full participant. If he is limited, it's due to just taking it easy with that ankle or injury. And even though he played most of the game, or if not all, last Monday, or not last, yeah, y'all get what I'm talking about. And then Friday, I would see probably everyone a full participant except Mark Andrews. He would probably stay as a limited or did not participate. Can maybe throw a rest day in there for Calais or Justin Houston. But we will see come that time. Now, still staying on the topics of, coming back from the bye. One thing that I believe will continue to happen is chemistry built with this defense and Roquan Smith. This guy has been a game changer, especially with getting his first week in. Him and Patrick Queen are just a phenomenal duo on that defense. We thought that Patrick Queen and Josh Bynes was going to be a dominant duo, or was a dominant duo already. This is going to surpass that by tenfold, easily. Now, and also Kyle, or another player that I want to talk about real quick before we move on to anything, has been Kyle Hamilton. He's been, building up, making a strong presence for himself. We haven't heard a lot about him, but he's been working out for us. He's been doing really well in coverage. He was robbed of his first career interception recently. And it's awesome. Just wonderful to see how well this guy is doing. Now, like I said, this is going to be kind of just a quick episode. So let's hop right into getting our previews and predictions going forward for the matchup against Carolina. Now, this should be a giant shock when I say this based off ESPN's matchup predictor. But right now, they've got Baltimore listed as an 84.7% chance of winning. Carolina only has a 15.1% chance of winning with a 0.1% chance of a tie. It has been officially released that Baker Mayfield is the starting quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. PJ Walker has been ruled out with an injury. I forget what it was. Oh gosh. Um, but yeah. Anyway, I just know that he's been ruled out due to injury. Um, it's going to be interesting to say the least. The Even though Baker is currently leading or the season leader on these passing yards, Foreman, he's leading the rushing attack on the Carolina side with 91 carries, 426 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And then DJ Moore, the hot topic of the trade blocks before the trade deadline happened, with 39 receptions, 478 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Along with their injury report that's on their top 5, we're looking at Miles Hartfield, cornerback, questionable. Taylor Morton, offensive tackle, questionable. Frankie Louvu, linebacker, questionable. Davion Nixon, defensive tackle, questionable. And Giovanni Ricci. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, to be completely honest. He is also listed as questionable. Overall, like I said, head to head, this should be an easy win. Will it? Considering Baker Mayfield has played this team, not this exact team, but most of these defensive players for 2-3 years back to, or, 2 times a year, I can see that why the coaching staff would obviously put Baker Mayfield ahead of Sam Darnold, for example. Baker has history with this Ravens team, and it's no question why they would want to put him under center. In all hell, Carolina has a great center in Bradley Bozeman as well, who used to be the starting center for the Baltimore Ravens, who practice against these guys practice against this defense just about every day for 4 years. What more answers do you need? Obviously, the guards and tackles. That's going to be a little bit of a question mark there, but having some people who are familiar with this defense is going to make it a little tough. If that offensive line can even just give Baker Mayfield a little bit of time in the pocket to read that defense or read the Ravens defense, he's going to obviously find some guys down the field or just take off. Baker knows what it's like to play in the AFC North and play in that play physical. He knows what he's gonna have to do when going up against this hard-hitting Ravens defense, especially when they decide to go ahead and start putting pressure on him. He's going to have to play his best ball like he used to when he was with Cleveland. But, Bowser, Jason Pierre-Paul, maybe David Ojabo, Justin Houston, Malik Harrison, and I'm even going to say him, Chuck Clark. All these guys are coming for him. This defensive front seven, with Calais Campbell, Roderick Washington, Justin Matabike, and so on and so forth. They're all coming for him. So I'm not too I'm a little worried, just like I was kind of a little worried with a couple weeks ago with the Saints and Andy Dalton. The Ravens put my predictions to bed. But we'll see what happens. Defensively, I'm not too concerned, or offensively, I'm not too concerned. Yes, they have J.C. Horn and Brian Burns still there, but as far as the rest of the team goes, I think Lamar's going to have one hell of a day. Whether it be the running backs, the passing game, I think they're going to do well. Now, let's go into the gambling part of this with the ESPN Pick Center. Obviously, with the 3-7 Panthers, and the 6-3 Ravens, we're currently sitting at a plus 13 for the Panthers, minus 13 for the Ravens, plus 550 for Panthers, minus 800 for the Ravens, and an over/under of 42. You know what? If I were to place a bet on this game, I would probably go with the spread on the Ravens. Correct me if I'm wrong, but and I would probably throw a few parlays in there, like a touchdown or a rushing and passing touchdown for Lamar, if they allowed that. But unfortunately, at this time, I am unable to gamble on sports. Anyways, I think this will be an overall good game, though. I'm going to be looking forward to it. And thinking about final scores, obviously, you all know when I do this show, I do a two-parter. If the Ravens win, I'm going 31-14. If the Carolina Panthers win, I think it's going to be 28-24. Now, that either one can change at any time, with it being Wednesday. Come Sunday, I could have a whole nother prediction. But that's all I have for you guys tonight. Thank you all for whoever tuned in to this evening. I really appreciate every one of you for tuning out and just enjoying the show. If you have any comments or questions or concerns, please reach out, whether it be under the comments on this video live stream or at the Ravens_ATB Twitter account. Please shoot us messages or DMs on the questions that you guys might want to see here on the show. As far as final wrap ups, if you feel like following any of my personal stuff, please follow the handle right there. That'd be TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. For Facebook, if you are watching this here on Facebook and you want to talk Ravens ball, please send me a friend request if you haven't already. And don't forget to follow us, as I just mentioned, Ravens_ATB, or the main page, ATB_network. And also go follow us on Twitch and here on YouTube with the subscriptions for Around the Block. I hope everyone has a fantastic rest of the evening, and we'll see you all on Sunday as far as interactions for game day. But as far as the show goes, we'll see you all next Wednesday and I hope you all have a fantastic night. See ya.